Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to try some live feed today and see how it's going to go. This will be my first one here. We're going to test it out. As you know, I posted a video yesterday on July 29th, 2024, stating that Ron DeSantis, governor of the state of Florida, signed off on a death warrant. The death warrant was on Loran Cole was convicted of sentencing to death for the murder of John Edwards on February 18th of 1994. On February 18, 1994, that Friday, John Edwards met his sister Pam for a weekend camping trip in Ocala National Forest. While they were setting up the camp in the Hopkins Prairie, Loran Cole stopped by, introduced himself as Kevin, and helped them get settled. Later that evening, Cole returned to Edwards' campsite with William Paul, who introduced himself as his brother. Even though the two men has never met, after sitting around the campfire, the four decided to go for a walk. While walking, Cole attacked Pam, throwing her to the ground, hitting her head, and putting her in handcuffs. At the same time, John began to struggle with Paul. John took possession of a walking stick that Paul was carrying and proceeded to beat him with it. With Pam in handcuffs, Cole helped Paul restrain John and laid him next to his sister on the ground. While Cole and Paul were robbing the siblings, all that John could do is apologize to his sister for having to put her in a dangerous situation. Paul moved Pam to the trail and Cole stayed behind with John, beating him for hurting his brother with a walking stick that was earlier altercation. Soon Cole joined Paul and Pam and told them that they were going to wait until John passed out. Cole then went back to John, laid injured, and slit his throat, telling Pam that he was only moving John off to the trail and trying to tie him up. John later died from a slash to the throat and numerous skull fractures. Cole and Paul took Pam back to the campsite where Cole raped her. The next day, Cole claimed that he was going to go check on John and told Pam that John was all right. Cole then raped Pam again, gagged her, and tied her in between two trees. Pam was able to free herself from the rope earlier that Sunday morning, fearing that her brother safety. She stayed put for a while. However, Pam eventually flagged down the motorist who took her into to the police. Cole and Paul were identified from the detailed description Pam gave the police and arrested on February 21st, 1994. Once again, that was the death warrant that was signed yesterday by the Florida governor on Loran Cole that was convicted of the death of the John Edwards, February 18th. All right. Now we're going to talk about a little procedure. What happens now? The death warrant was signed off on. He's then later moved from Union Correctional Institution next door to Florida State Prison, where he's placed in what we call the death house. Typically, he's moving to a solitary area, and the cell's going to be a little bit bigger. He's going to be under a 24-hour observation by a team of correctional officers to prevent him from self-harm or harming others. There's a chance for illegal and spiritual visits, but they're tightly controlled. On the day of the execution, the inmate can receive a final meal that costs no more than $40. That's typically watched over by the food service director. It's crucial to remember that legal challenges can delay or even halt the procedure. Additionally, media and public can protest, often surround the area with these events. This is a complex, sensitive issues for most accurate, up-to-date information. So refer back to the Florida Department of Corrections for more resources. Like I said, this is the first live podcast. We're going to see how it's going today. If you like, subscribe, put some comments in here. Let me know if there's something else you might want to talk about. We could do some videos in the near future. Let us know your thoughts so we can get this stuff up and rolling and grow the channel a little bit and get some more excitement going on. And thank you for listening.